I do have a memory of learning or hearing that the Israelis, prior to these other things, had sent some of their Hawk missiles to Iran, evidently in a sale. And the thing that makes me remember that is that apparently the understanding was that this was going to be in return for some, perhaps, hostages of their own, or the people that were held, that if these individuals, by the time the plane of delivery had reached a certain point, if these individuals had not been released, the plane would turn and come back without continuing the delivery.
Do you recall getting some of your top advisors together, Secretary Weinberger and Secretary Schultz, and discussing in a little more depth this Israeli initiative to send weapons overseas to Iran? And you
yes.
Maybe you could tell the jury a little bit about what you recall about those meetings and the fact that there was disagreement and so on.
Yes. I do recall that word had come back from our people dealing with the Iranians that they wanted something, some evidence that would make them confident they were meeting with people who had access to the top levels of government in our country. And the thing that the Iranian representatives had suggested was a single shipment of TOW anti-tank missiles to be sold to them, not given, to be sold to them, and that this would evidence what they needed to know, plus which they very frankly said that this would help them when the time came for a new government, would add some prestige to their effort. That the little weekly newspaper in Beirut printed an erroneous story that we were doing business directly with the Khomeini and trading arms for hostages. If you want the disagreement that occurred between our people, some of our people said that this would, they didn't say it was trading for hostages, because it wasn't. My answer, they said it would be made to appear that way if it ever came to light. And my answer to that was that if I had a child kidnapped and held for ransom, and if I knew of someone who had perhaps the ability to get that child back, it wouldn't be dealing with the kidnappers to ask that individual to do that for me, and it would be perfectly fitting for me to reward that individual for doing this. So that was my position with regard to what they were asking and what we were doing.